Welcome, everybody. Welcome, everyone. When you come on, go ahead and put a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and click on notification bells. There's something very interesting going on in the world energetically, and this is why I am here today. There needs to be an urgent healing for celebrities. Specifically, I heard something about Jermaine Dupri, also Beyonce. I don't know whoever else is going to pop up, but I want to be present here. Let's see, for the collective or you know, for people that need it. Welcome in, welcome in, Sister Sonia. Let me know if you can hear me okay. And if you want to help me out with this too, there's a really, really, really very interesting energy that has been hovering, within the field, the collective field, for a few days. There's a lot of death energy in the air. And I think it has something to do with all of these portals that have happened in the month of August, karmic portals, that the karma is either being cleansed or it's being handed out. You know, I think there's a lot of karmic contracts that were not fulfilled, celebrity wise. And I think that this kind of boomerang energy is trying to cause death and destruction for some celebrities. This is kind of what I am seeing. So, welcome in, everyone. We're going to go ahead and just get started straight away here. Give me a moment to ground into these energies here. Thank you. Second. Hmm. Okay. Build on this. There's a lot building in the energy field. So, collectively, there feels to be some sort of collective godlike energy over the collective template right now. And I feel that it could be, and I hope I'm pronouncing this right, Marduk. Feels as if this could be the god of Babylon, Marduk. Um, Energy that I'm feeling. And I believe that there are some unfulfilled contracts that this God may be pulling at this moment in time. I need time to dig into this, to ground into the energies. But it's like a pressure cooker. And I'll bring up a picture of that god, Marduk. This is the energy that I'm kind of getting. And it's like a pressure cooker, right? So the energy is coming up, up. I see it up, 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 up. It's like the energy is being squeezed where it's forced to come out. So what I'm kind of getting in, there has been some delayed gratification and some delayed success and some delayed um some delayed actions. And so there's been a lot of stagnation within the, kind of celebrity arena, sports, um, television, film, music, stuff like that. See, thank you. I'm channeling all of this. See, Hollywood has been at a kind of standstill. They've not been putting money into a lot of artists to develop those artists right now because there is this cosmic clearing, or rather a into one contract and the beginning of a next. So some of these Hollywood elites, they take these missions, or they agree to do certain things for different gods or lords, or what have you. And this appears to be the day, or one of the days, that the contract has, I'm hearing, spoiled. So there are a lot of celebrities that did not do the devil's bidding well enough. It's kind of what I'm getting. They did not do what they were contracted to do. They were giving all of this wealth and accolades, things that they had not earned. I'm talking awards, before they even have done anything to kind of prop their name up and to have this status. But this sort of energy, this Marduk god of Babylon, is kind of what I'm feeling. The contracts are due, and a lot of them did not do what they were supposed to do. So this is why I get the death energy, the death and destruction energy that's in the air. And it's like a pressure cooker. So everything has come up. Um, yeah, everything has come up to the surface. Okay, give me a moment. Hmm. Something here. It's like a huge something. I don't know. It's like it's not a blockage. It's like a tuber. Remember, we're looking into a collective template, right? So we got to zone out. There's a connection coming through, so we will allow this to build. There's a connection coming through. There's a lot of tightness going on in the throat, some tightening of the arms. There's definitely some sort of presence, and so I'm kind of channeling like what the what the energy is, some sort of being held back, being kept captive, being pulled back. Hold on a second. Okay, this is interesting. Feels like this should be for the other channel, but someone's like, I need to testify. Okay, this is very interesting. I need to testify. I'm not sure what energy this is. So give me a moment to ground into this. Mimbona rambasha de nambanirita. Gambona karanira tirirambandire shande rambandireta. Himbona karanirandire shande rambandireta karamandire. Mimbona karanirandire shimbona karanirandireta. Manerata kiranirandi shandi ambonera kirambanarite. Himbonara nirandire shambonara rambandirata. Hambururuchana rambandukanara lirambata. Hinandiram birishundara rikarambata karika. Hinanirat kirikaramia shandiram diretakarambata. Lambona karera shiniram berendira kenamandireta. Hinara kanera nishandiram bandireta. Himburu tukararete karanirandi na karambonarata. Hingaranarashaneram garaneram bandireta. Bimbulukiranireta karanirashanereta. Nyanakarambandireta. Minganarashanereta karambandireta. Hambururucharambata karambo. Himbona nereta karambata. Manireta karam. Mikarata krashimarata. Manireta. Channeling something. Who's this? Sometimes the snow comes down in June. Sometimes the sun goes round the moon. I see the passion in your eyes. Sometimes it's all a big surprise. This is a song by Vanessa Williams. Hold on. There was a time when all I did was think, you tell me this is true. It's not the way I hoped or how I planned, but somehow it's enough. Now that we're standing face to face, isn't this world a crazy place? Just when I thought a chance had passed, you go and save the best for last. Something interesting. Something. Something. Okay, I'm going to give you guys an overview of what's kind of going on, but the details are not coming through yet. This is definitely, I'm definitely feeling very strongly this sort of Marduk energy. It feels as if the energy that is here is a trickster. I feel, I think that, yeah, it's definitely a trickster spirit. And to be honest with you, all the work that we've done here on this channel, it feels like we're now barely about to scratch the surface. Goodness. It's almost like, do I want to open this up? That's where it will go. Do I want to open this up? It's almost like this energy is not, it taunted me like, save the best for last, right? Like, finally, you get to me. I was wondering when you were going to pull my card, pull my number. I was wondering when I would come up. So it's almost like once I pull at this thread, it's like, what all will we find? You know what I mean? So I'm kind of questioning. I'm kind of questioning pulling on the thread because it means a lot of work. Um, mm, okay. Okay. All right. I'm understanding now. Mm-hmm. Mm, okay. Very interesting. Okay. So this is kind of a build off of when I was telling you guys that my star, where my original spark originated from was the Star Council of Luna. But then that kind of the consciousness split. I was in a forced marriage with the Assyrian Empire, the Assyrians, which is modern day Iraq and all of that. Syria and other parts of like North Africa, Middle East. So what I'm understanding in this moment is this Marduk god I think we've had a run in before. And so now this why this energy is kind of almost in a way taunting me like, oh, you saved the best for last. Finally, we meet again. Finally, I mean, we've removed the Leviathan. And I mean, we've been through, I mean, Yaldabaoth. I thought that was removing the collective devil. I thought that was big. And this appears to be an even bigger energy. And the reason why this is coming up is because this whole month, see, this is the end of not only the karmic portal in this year of the nine, but this is the end of the karmic portal at the end of the age. And so, understanding within my role as mother of the ages is to actually take this age of over 2100 years and I'm going to condense that down, right, into a singular message. And within that is going to be everything that was cleansed. Here you go, all on this little microchip here. Here's all the work that we've done, right? Here's what we've removed. Here's what we've healed. Here's what we've made better, right? I cannot do that without dealing with this because this is where my spark, this is where my soul originally got into this said matrix. And so it's within this said 3D matrix is how we build up this thing that some will call karma. It's not per se karma, but what it is things that you're still holding on to that is embedded within your DNA that is unhealed, whether that's from you or a relative. It is still within the DNA and it has to be dealt with. This is what we're dealing with. So this is a very big reveal or grand finale, if you will. So this, I'm gonna call it, I want a deity entity. I don't know much about it, but I can feel what I remember about it. Um, so essentially what I am confronting right now is the energy that first took me, my soul line, my blueprint into 3D captivity, right? And within that, when we zone out, it's everyone's 3D captivity. And it's also a lot of these celebrities who I don't know if they know this or not, but when they're saying they're going to do certain things for certain deities, I don't know if they know that it's going back to this Marduk um, energy. I don't know if they know that. I'm understanding that in this moment, and there's a lot to unravel. So this is why I'm feeling death and destruction over, certain celebrities is simply because this inner energy um, is the one that calls such things forth. And so essentially, once I kind of unravel this thread, in a way, I also take an aspect of myself back because the whole point of living in these matrices is to remember who you are from where you are, of what you are and who you are, and to realign yourself back to your soul's original divine blueprint. And this is how you exit stage right out of the matrix game. So this is a very big moment for my soul, just coming back full circle to how I wasn't expecting this to come out, but how I was originally captured, right? And it feels as if I was taunted, right? And trust me, this is gonna come full circle with the celebrities. We're gonna get there. Um, but to understand that, guys, the celebrities are just a microcosm of your bigger star because you are the actual star. Each and every single one of us that are light workers, that are chosen, we are the true stars. And so what happens is when these celebrities are being formed, they're formed from our residue, from our stardust. So every single celebrity is wearing the energetic skin of the chosen. You have to understand that. And now I think what I'm being confronted with is could be the energy that is carrying our stardust to the, not necessarily carrying, but allowing one to sit in with our essence, with a piece of our essence, right? Um, I say that to say that this death and destruction energy I'm feeling about these celebrities who refuse to do certain things or did not fulfill the contracts. I believe that when we release this energy, a lot of our star residue will be coming back to us and we will be fully embodied. So this is interesting. This is beautiful of the journey that we've taken, because that's the whole point, is to be a fully embodied soul, right? Not lacking anything. And humanity, we've been on this hamster wheel because there's been a lot of collusion within our frequencies to divide our essence through frequency disruptors. And also, there's been a lot of hands in keeping us fragmented. And I think I'm coming across one of these hands now, which is this Marduk god, which I don't, to be honest, I don't know much about, but it feels as if he knows me. Feels as if he knows me. So it says that he's described of having four eyes in some text. So I'm definitely getting something with the eyes. So give me a second. So he's known to have supreme vision, allowing him to see twice as much as other gods and to effectively govern the cosmos by defeating the chaos monster. It says Tiamat. Interesting. This contributes this attribute contributes to his image as a powerful, all-seeing king of gods. All-seeing, that rubs me the wrong way. All-seeing, you know what that reminds me of? Yeah, that right there rubs me the wrong way. Um, I don't know if you guys were back a few videos back where we start channeling the dimension of the all-seeing eye, which is eighth dimensional. Give me a moment. So he has the ability to oversee the spiritual and physical realms simultaneously. So it says that Marduk's status as the supreme god of Babylon, making him greater than his fellow deities. Hmm, interesting. And I'm not here to say what's necessarily good or bad. I'm just here to clear. And so, as we know that at the end of the age, the whole point is for us to become as crystalline as we can be, as pure as we can be, right? And so even within every good deed, there's a little bit of selfish, right? With every bad deed, there's a little bit of good, right? It's kind of how I'm viewing this energy. Kind of both, but when it's bad, there's sometimes good. When it's good, there's sometimes bad. It's a bit tricky, right? Give me a second. I just have to go with the energy. To be honest with you, there's some texts that say he's benevolent, right? I have to go with the energy because there's good and bad in all of us. And it's not about anymore, guys, about who did what or like what is good and what is bad. No, it's about the cleanse, the purge to advance to higher consciousness. So, however the darkness got in, we have to let it out, purge it out, cleanse it out to now expand, right? Okay, I'm going to put him. That's the overview, guys. That's the whole overview. Now, some of the specific things going on with certain celebrities, right? And then let's see how this ties back in to him. This could just be the energy over this template. So there's something very interesting in the energy field with Beyonce. It feels as if Beyonce, it's interesting. It's some sort of accident that makes her wheelchair bound. Is kind of the energy that I've been getting. And it feels as if this accident, I don't know if it's an accident per se. That's the thing. It could look like an accident, but when I'm telling you about this Marduk God, right? It feels as if, he's the one over all of this, or at least over the template that we're looking into, right? This is probably why I feel the energy really heavy. But it feels as if she's wheelchair bound. And it feels as if there's some sort of incident or accident involving a seatbelt. I don't know if it's a car. I don't know if it's like something on stage that malfunctions. It could be a strap of some sort that malfunctions, and there is some sort of something happens. I feel that she becomes wheelchair bound. It almost feels like being paralyzed. And the way spirit shows it to me, shows me like like McDonald's, like back in the day, like the Happy Meal, like that was like one of their first burgers or something. So it shows me like she's a staple, right? Just like McDonald's, a household staple. But yet, how long ago was that first? I know this sounds weird, have the analogy. How long ago was that first sandwich, right? That was like back in the 60s, or I don't know, 70s, whatever. It was a long time ago. It feels that if this happens to her, it feels permanent, but if or maybe she'll be in this state for a very long time. That's the energy, right? And then there's also the energy is some sort of malfunction with a seatbelt or harnessed of some sort. Um, that it feels like she's in a wheelchair, like confined to sitting. I don't know if she can't stand at all, but it feels as if she's confined to sitting. And we don't want to rule out that this could be metaphoric too. This could be also something that grounds her career as well. So it's either physical, because remember, he's the God, and now I think I understand why I'm seeing it. He's the God of both spiritual and physical. So this could be spiritual for her and physical. So it could be a physical grounding or halting of her career, because when we think about a seatbelt is protection. Maybe she did something without having protection, without taking, the precautionary things to put some safety, practices um, to protect her household, her kingdom. And so if she falls, think about being in a wheelchair, if she falls, like she's set down from moving. That could be for moving forward in her career, in her business, or even something with the finances gets halted. it feels that it could be metaphoric for that, or even not being able to sell a property, kind of like not being able to move forward, just being halted. You know what I mean? Something of this extent, right? And there's also a very, very heavy death energy as well. And I've been feeling this for at least the past 3 years. Feels as if, she's like she's leaving this earth. I just keep saying it. And we all know that there is a energy, um, which dwells inside of the shell of Beyonce. It's not necessarily Beyonce. We've been through this a lot. Beyonce's consciousness is in a bubble, right? It's been there for some time. However, I think there is an awakening of her consciousness. And I think there is, like, this is what I'm kind of getting. And this is why this Marduk energy is coming up. It feels as if it's some sort of judgment happening to some of these celebrities. Sorry, it took me a while to get here, but it feels as if there's some sort of judgment, and his energy is seeing all of this. And I'm hearing that he's foreseeing all of this, right? And it's very interesting, like, kind of that thing. Remember that thing I said I saw here? Okay, now I'm understanding what it is. It's drawing out, there is an expected top. Like, we're quantum, right? So we have endless possibilities. Not for them. There is an expected ceiling, a roof, if you will. That's where she is. She's hit the roof. What comes up must come down. So it feels as if this Marduk energy that sees both in the spirit and in physicality is here, right? And that's it. She's reached here. You can't move forward. There isn't any passing this without paying your dues, right? And it feels as if there was something that Beyonce was supposed to do that she did not do, because I think her original consciousness is waking up or coming back online. There was something she was supposed to reveal on stage. There was something she was supposed to do for who whatever practices they do, whatever, dark lords they give offering to. She didn't do it. And so now it's like when your number's called and you have to go and see the judge, or you go see the king or the queen, right? And you have to explain yourself. This is what it feels like a judgment, like a prejudgment of, and it's like, okay, you're going in to get handed your sentence or whatever, but nevertheless, you're at the ceiling. There's a cap on all these people. Just know that there is a cap, because remember, we are the true stars. We are made up of stardust. They have to get it from us in order to shine, literally. And all of our, there's only certain prototypes, an amount of prototypes of avatars, right? And everyone has a doppelganger. When these energies are found guilty, when they lose their ability to shine, literally, this is our opportunity to receive back our own star, because this is what truly how these people actually got to be stars. It's stolen energy is what it is, right? And so essentially she's going in for judgment, right? But there, she's hit the ceiling, and what comes up must come down, right? And this is happening this is happening soon. Like, the someone keep judgment, the judgment, or even the persecution. It feels like a punishment, like I'm seeing the punishment, right? Getting handed out. And it's some sort of stopping mobility, some sort of stopping of her mobility to move forward, right? Whether it's in her career or actual physical, right? Because I am the image in the wheelchair, right? This could be metaphoric, or it could be, you know, literal, or it could be both. She's not going to be able to move, right? So this could be a physical move or you know, in a wheelchair just being confined. That's the first thing that I'm seeing. Um, that this energy, this Marduk energy, is kind of overseen, right? I didn't know this video was going to be like this. I was just being obedient sitting here. I didn't know what I was going to find. I was hearing the sudden death of Jermaine Dupri. And if you guys know Jermaine Dupri, he's like a famous producer. Like he produced a lot of ATL music. He produced a lot of like, I can't even, his it's so long, starting from Chris what are those people? Those good guess back Danny Mac can make you jump, jump. Oh, I can't remember. But that was like a childhood song, crisscross, right? Starting from back then to all the ATL to Escape to Janet Jackson to Michael Jackson to I mean he has a full catalog. He's this hip hop R&B producer Jermaine Dupri. There's something going on with his head and with his like underneath his heart. So something here all the way down, and it kind of like brings my energy to like right underneath the rib cage, like the upper rib cage. And so I don't know if this is the liver, um but it feels as if something from either that area, it's the spleen, it's the liver, something, and then it goes all the way up to the brain. It feels as if the two are connected. um Feels as if they're connected. Give me a second. There's something. This could be a nerve of some sort. Like I'm seeing something connecting from the back of his head. It could be like an eye nerve, something that has to do with how you process information, sight, something. There's something with him. It feels like something sudden, like a stroke or like a aneurysm or like neurological. I don't know if one organ goes bad and it affects like the brain. I don't know much about, things medically, but it feels as if there's something that suddenly happens to him or could suddenly happen to him. Let me see. I don't know. It feels like he could be on vacation when this happens, like some sort of tropical island or something like that in like the Bahamas or, some sort of island like on the East Coast, I'm not saying it has to be just the East Coast. It's either it could be Caribbean, like on Eastern bound, or it could be, like an island on the west coast, something in the Caribbean or near, something like that. Feels as if he's in some sort of tropical place. Um, could even be Costa Rica, or I don't even know if something is going into his drink. You know, it feels like something suddenly happens. Something suddenly happens to him. Feels like a setup. So yeah, feels like a setup. Either feels like a setup by a woman, or it feels like, you know, those flesh eating bacteria or something when you go swimming, something like that. But it feels as if it's it's foul play or something, like someone adds it to a drink, or somehow it goes inside of his body, like his head, or something. It could be added into a drink or something and trying to be metabolized through the liver, or because somehow it gets to the brain. Something something is not right. It's foul play. It's definitely foul play. Yeah. This is all, so the energy is all about their the karmic past, right? The past events that have happened, that when I said this energies are getting forced up to like purge out, like this is kind of like the celebrity arena is being forced to purge out all of those things over, over their lifetime, or even the past lifetimes. That's all being purged out. Like this celebrity arena, they already have, but they will lose even more of their influence that they have over humanity. So this is all the undoing of that, the unraveling, which it has been already started, but this is more of the unraveling. So if we can ground some of the people who were the hit makers of the past, what, 20 years, right? It's like grounding those energies to, yeah, yeah, there's been a lot that has happened, and a lot of this, the music, a lot has gone into the music, and everything at the end of the age will be dealt with. Every single thing, whether you wanted to do it or not, whatever has been done unjustly that you feel a way about will be purged out, will be cleansed. Their crowns will be tarnished. Their crowns will be tarnished because of the infliction. Interesting. There may also be a huge scandal that comes out about him, and involving um some other people in the music industry, like R&B, hip hop. um Yeah. Yes. Hmm. Hmm. I don't know why Aaliyah's being mentioned. Interesting. I don't know why Aaliyah's being mentioned. There was a song that Aaliyah was in for Crisscross, the group Crisscross back in 1996. I think he was the producer of that. Hmm. Another song, Aaliyah, I Got Your Back. That was on the One in a Million album. That was produced by Jermaine Dupri. That was 1996. Huh. Huh. Mirandira shambona karalandireta hambona. Shimbona karanirandireta kiririnte. Himbona karandireta neta. Bimbona karashandirandiriti. Himbona karalanbandirandi. This is very interesting. Hold on. Hmm. This is interesting. Remember, I don't know if you guys remember this, but years ago, I was saying, I was channeling Beyonce, and I said, I saw her consciousness in a bubble. And it was like Jay-Z was on the outside of the bubble. He was the one looking into the bubble, like he was controlling everything. And even her mother, Tina, somehow is in cahoots with Jay-Z. And remember, I said that I remember saying this. I said, in the years to come, watch what happens. Beyonce will transfer her fans' energy into Miss Blue Ivy Carter. Miss Blue Ivy Carter will get more and more beautiful. And Beyonce, you almost it will almost look like she's getting less and less beautiful. And what this is an energy exchange. I also saw that Blue Ivy would come out, and I thought it would be some sort of song around the age of 13, right? Well, she's 13 now. But remember, she just did that huge tour with Beyonce, where she pretty much was a background dancer for the whole tour. So in a way, this was her coming out, right? Where now people show up to the concert screaming for Blue Ivy. And it's interesting that I said that the energy that they're cultivating for Blue Ivy is Aaliyah. They want to make her like Aaliyah. She even has some sort of energy, like an undercurrent energy that reminds me of Aaliyah. And so now we got Beyonce. When Aaliyah passed away, it gave rise to Beyonce as a solo star. Beyonce was still in Destiny's Child, but then when Aaliyah passed away, there was a spot opening for Beyonce, and then she starred in the movie with Austin Powers and all of that. And she went to do movies as well. It's like Aaliyah was already doing. There was some sort of energy, some sort of siphoning of the energy during that time. I'm almost getting that somehow Jermaine Dupri was one of the initiators of this spark, of this consciousness grab or takeover. And Jay-Z always is in the background. He's like a hidden hand. Like he's very tactful. That's why Diddy couldn't get him caught up in all his stuff. He's very sly in the background when he's doing his things. He knows how to play chess. There's something very interesting building within this whole thing now. That's why Aaliyah is coming up. They will pay for the sins of what they did not for, but with Aaliyah's energy. They will pay for that. Every single person who had a hand in that will pay. And this is also to the energy of why Beyonce, I think on some level, she knew that she would be halted or grounded. I think she knew. Now, mind you, this is not Beyonce inside of that shell. It is a entity. I even found the name out about it. That was like a video last year. But I think Beyonce's true consciousness that Jay-Z had in the bubble is awakening. And at the same time, we got this Marduk energy is saying, no, at the end of this age, you must pay. There must be karmic retribution. There is a judgment happening. And Jermaine Dupri is also, too, an example of a period of time. Because back in that day, late, 1990s, early 2000s, he was a very, very popular producer. This energy is coming back up for karmic retribution. Any energy that had a hand in this, it's like their hand gets severed. So it's a cleansing out of the lies and the money grab energy and the doing anything just to get a leg up. These things come back, and they've come back around for karmic justice. Literally, karmic retribution must be had. There's some claims too of Jermaine and boys, all alleged now. This could be about crisscross. And I think one of them has passed away. I don't know if both of them have. I'm seeing other name, Bow Wow, right? All alleged now. This was the set back then. That was back in the day, the ATL, of the music. This is the early 2000s as well. late 1990s, as we talk about Escape and all of that. I mean, he was pretty big. He even, I think, produced for Mariah Carey, um, Janet Jackson. So I'm looking at him, yes, as a singular person, but him as a vehicle, right? For for all of the chaos. Him as a vehicle to to move energies and frequencies through music, right? I'm not sure how that was facilitated, but Aaliyah is coming up very strongly here. Okay. It's interesting because Aaliyah's name means ascent, like rising, going up, associated with the like immigration to Israel. Remember, spiritual Israel's coming back together. And what this is our codes, our original codes, 12 strand DNA is coming back online. This is the crystallization, the purification of the bloodlines. And so through these different karmic portals, we're able to go ahead and exhaust out all of the impure DNA and the slicing and the different, impurities seeded into our DNA. We're going back to the 12 strand DNA, which is literally migrating back to the spiritual Israel's coming back together when that DNA is whole again. And it's very interesting that this not only energy heist, this was a sacrifice for, it was so much bigger than music, guys. This was a feast of, because of what she represented, right? This was an energetic feast to feast on a powerful bloodline. This is, Aaliyah has cosmic, she belongs to cosmic royalty. Trust and believe they know who we are. She didn't need, that's the thing, she was effortless. She did not need to steal stardust from anyone. She had it naturally. She's of a royal cosmic lineage. And the ones that they magnified, they made so big. They made them big. When the truth comes out, they will be crushed down to ashes. And literally this will be the energy that we all stand on to embody back our true essence. That is what they needed from her. It stalled. I'm hearing taking her out stalled. This very point in time that we're here now, dissolving, undoing, healing, the advancement of humanity. You know how we're all kind of alert and awake and coming into our spiritual oneness and power. We were already supposed to do that. She had the codes. So they got to play a little bit longer in the game. They got to deceive a little bit longer. They got to steal our stardust a little bit more. This is why they also too try to stop people. Sorry, guys. This is also too why they try to stop certain celebrities. Like look at what they did to Lauryn Hill. This was sustenance. Her music, her energy, her lyrics were sustenance. We would have gotten here a long time ago. Matter of fact, we wouldn't even be here. We would be better than here. We would be on a whole nother timeline. See, this is what the music has the power to do. Thank you. Thank you. Here we go. Here we go. And here it is. You can't fool me. Here it is. There are certain producers put in place to stop these artists, to run interference. Jermaine Dupri's one of them. So the very thing of what he was doing to collude with the higher energies, knowingly or unknowingly, is now coming back through the body to corrode, to cause corrosion. Erosion, it's like something with water, something with water. I don't know. But there is foul play. Remember, but now I see it's the energy of what you put out now coming back in. So the outwardly now attacks you inwardly, right? Because the energy you put outwardly comes back, boomerangs. And so the people that were hired and put into positions, see, in this is now we go back to Diddy, because this energy was able to now open this up. All of these people, they didn't have to be exposed on the stand, right? And we were all wondering, like, why are the real people not? See, God has another way of doing things. Anyone that was part of the false timeline to keep us away from returning back into wholeness. See, the music was supposed to do that. We were supposed to be here a long time ago. What happened to Bob Marley, right? Look at our voices, the ones with the voice, they somehow find a way to stop. The ones who have the message, right, of the gods, to put us back to blueprint timeline. And I use Lauryn Hill because she was such a beautiful example. Wise beyond her years, anchored and rooted in source, spoke truth even if others rejected it, even if it would hurt her career, chose life even if it would hurt her career. Great example. Aaliyah was also one of those souls who she just embodied the cosmic royalty. When you look at Aaliyah, no matter how many baggy pants they try to put on her, and the eye thing is coming up again, Aaliyah wore the what? The patch over her eye, right? That's what I was channeling, something with the eye too. And interesting. Now I got it here because I'm getting eyes here. This eye definitely feels like a patch. We take so many things for granted. This is why the world feels empty to us. The world is never empty. The world is always talking. Like I'm hearing that the music, it's like a sound voyage. When you listen to music, you go on a voyage. And it's not just the lyrics, it's within every note. It's within every pause. It's leading you somewhere. It's leading you, supposed to lead you to a higher calling and purpose. This is what our original music did. And I'm going back, we're taking it back. Do you even know, as we start to sing right on plantations, and the way that certain people would hum while they were working, right? Back in slavery. Do you know they were passing messages, right? With the when they would drop down in the low kind of growl and groan, which gave birth to blues, right? Soul, blues, funk, rock and roll. All of this comes from the plantation. It's a voyage. It's a message in a bottle, literally. It's a message in a note. Even when you go higher, the falsetto, these are these are notes of freedom, right? Of safe passage. So this is like sources giving us a history lesson on how this stuff even came to be. There was always freedom in music. I don't know why we're just getting that. I think, of course, the elites knew, and they fought to collude it. Then when we got what to the 1980s, and we gave rise to the synthesized sound, right? I think some people remember Cameo back in the day in the 80s, and even Funky George or whoever. I think that was back in the 70s or something. They started playing around with these synthesized sounds, but they were still organic. But then this is when the computers, this is when, see, these people could not, they could not create something organic, right? Because it's birthed from soul. But when the computers, when the synthesized sound came about in the late 70s, early 80s, now they were able to join in and started to create these beat machines and that. And so this is how they were able to get into the music to collude the frequency. That's truly all that they've ever wanted, because the whole point was to keep you away from the spiritual Israel, the 12 strand DNA, from coming back together. That's the whole thing, to keep you locked out of that. So they had to sever the music. So when an artist like Lauryn Hill comes up, Bob Marley's of the world come up, and even some of our political leaders, when they come up, they have to dismantle them. And Aaliyah, being of this cosmic royalty lineage, she just exudes it. No matter how many baggy clothes they put on her and eye patches, right? She is that. And so even the synthesization of her music wouldn't necessarily work, because her essence, right? Her essence was, it was too plentiful that they could give some of it to this person and that person and that person. And before you know it, a lot of people have been eating, getting fat off of Aaliyah's energy, to be honest with you. I think if we look back, it's never stopped. Never. Even with Whitney Houston having such a powerful voice, and Whitney Houston has this essence and an array about her as well. But Aaliyah's special because of the lineage she comes from. And so when we take out the ones that have benefited the most from the energy heist of Aaliyah, like Beyonce's family has, great deal. Yeah. And the producers that colluded not just with Aaliyah, but to stop other artists. To, and I believe that I'm almost getting the vibe that Jermaine Dupri knows about the hidden tracks, subliminals, and that he willingly did it. He was on their payroll. It's all alleged now. But source just ain't never lied. So you're listening to Taylor Swift, and you have no idea what's the subliminal underneath it, and who's creating that and okaying that. Somebody has to create it. Jermaine Dupri is one of those people. Is there a lot more? Yeah, but he's one of them. Well, I wanted to do a healing session for them. So I was like, "Oh my God, there's so much death energy. Let's cleanse the celebrities." But now I kind of, as this all unravels, I see now what's going on. And to be honest with you, it's just karmic retribution. That is, it's the judgment happening. And it appears that this Marduk, god of Babylon, is the one overseeing it. Yeah, that's the message, and that is the message. Very interesting. Hmm. I opened to a random page in the Great Expansion, a Cosmic Bible for the Ages, right? I'm going to go ahead and read this because it may be important. Page 161. Reading the last paragraph here. It says, "This brings me back to another fond memory. About 20 years ago, while I was lucid dreaming, I found myself in war with multiple beastly and fierce higher dimensional beings. In between each battle, I would meet with Source to receive encouragement and instructions on how to face the next battle or the next age. With every battle or age, the beings became scarier and scarier. I believe this was a metaphor showing the increasingly difficulty of the many battles that I, as Mother of the Ages, would confront. There is a saying that goes, new level, new devil. With each new age humanity passes through, we will have to defeat a new devil. When we win the battle, we advance to the next age. As Mother of the Ages, I help humanity to assimilate the lessons learned at the end of each age or battle. This allows humanity to elevate to higher frequency where they will face new lessons, which will be a bit more difficult. In the new age of Aquarius, we are battling the inner man by defeating the devil within. The goal of humanity is to become crystalline being, where every part of us has been put through the fiery fury of Father God's Son and baptized in the Mother God's loving spirit waters. We can only accomplish this by refining every aspect of ourselves. Humanity's current battle is to refine our lower selves, aka lower chakras, by shedding the ego. Now, as Mother of the Ages, I'm starting to see the bigger picture. I'm called to view things collectively. I must use my newfound role to empower the collective. And And then the last thing it says, because I'm just going to read this because it verifies the whole thing, I'm to help humanity heal ancestral trauma and help the collective Christ body let go of the things that no longer serve us. I'm to help humanity close collective karmic cycles that have trapped the world in repeating the same mistakes generation after generation. I'm to love the collective as one whole of the greater whole of Source. Okay. So that was definitely a confirmation that we were definitely in a collective template. This collective template, the Marduk god apparently is the one that is over this collective template that we're looking at. And there is judgment going on right now, guys. But the whole point, why this has to purge out. See, this is a purge happening because of the work we've done, the cleansing we've all been doing as a collective soul body, and what this collective purge that we've been doing for a while. As we're shedding our ego, we are purging out. And so that means we're cleansing templates. We're cleansing collective templates, ancestral templates, akashic templates, karmic templates, right? And one of the huge karmic templates of the things that have been going on, that have been plaguing humanity, is how they are using these celebrities against us. They got us on false timelines because of their fake false music, fake instruments, fake tracks, subliminals to rewire us. But we are getting back, and there is judgment happening. And we will see a lot of these celebrities being grounded, being forced down, not having forward movement. I'm talking money drying up, the whole nine. This is what we will be experiencing as we push forward, guys, in consciousness. Whew, Lord. Didn't know it was going to be like this, y'all. I wanted to get through that full message before I look at the chat, and I see all of you guys in the chat. Now, it's interesting, guys. One of my skill sets is I'm clairgustient, right? I have the ability to taste. I can literally taste there is an entity. There is an entity that needs to be removed. And I'm hearing that it's part of the collective dragon. And this is just a confirmation. See, all of this of what I pulled out of the template, someone doesn't want to let that go. Because what knowledge is power. They don't want to let the secret is out of the bag. We've just exposed them out of their hiding place. And so now we must clear whoever this is, because there is an entity present who did not want us to know about this information. Give me a second. Think it's in the collective sacral. And okay, it's anchored in where's the entity? Okay, it's anchored in the collective sacral, but where it truly is, it's in our binary code. So this is tying back into the information that the other day I said I'll save this for another video. That's coming up. It's in our binary code. So binary code is like, like a computer, code that runs on ones and zeros. Well, humanity, we have binary codes as well, spiritually speaking, right? Genetic codes, right? And this has to do with our DNA. So, where is this? It's in the DNA. Where is it specifically? It's in the DNA that has coded you and I. So, this is when I've been getting at for the last few months. There's a dragon energy hovering over humanity. And to be honest with you, the other day I actually saw it also too over the Christ energy. The energy. This thing has been since the beginning. And now, within this template, we have discovered new level, new devil. The beast is getting more beastly. I'm getting viper and venom. Viper, venom. This beast has multiple, feels like faces or mouths. Okay. I'm almost curious of what that movie um, that Aaliyah played in. Hmm. Queen of the Damned. I don't know why I'm just seeing that this beast has multiple, it's like one head, but multiple mouths. Did Aaliyah play in a movie like that? I'm looking. Interesting. So she was Akasha, Queen of the Damned. Queen Akasha. Doesn't this remind you of the Akashic records? Hmm. Does this not remind you of the Akashic records? Remember I said Aaliyah comes from a royal cosmic lineage. Interesting. So I think she was Queen of Vampires. I think that's what Queen Akasha is. Huh. Interesting. Hold on. Enkill. En Inkle. Enkill. Enkil. And Akasha were rulers of Kemet, now Egypt. Circa 4020 BC, when he and Akasha were attacked by assassins and left to die, a powerful spirit named Amel intertwined himself with Akasha's spirit as it was leaving her dying body, and then forced their combined spirits back into her, making Akasha the first vampire. Akasha then turned to Enkil, who laid dying beside her, and healed his wounds by replacing the blood he lost with hers. Remember how I was saying her blood? It's like everybody is, her blood was very potent and powerful, and how a lot of people got famous and was pretty much eating and, getting bigger success off of her blood. And then she replaced with her blood, the blood he lost, and then made him the second vampire. This is interesting. So that's like the movie, but no, there's something very interesting about that. Something very interesting. Is this a real? Is this, I'm almost wondering, guys, is this real? Yeah, I think this is. I don't know if this is on like just like a story or something, but this is given like I don't know why something something with this movie is not fake. Something with this movie is real. Justin Bieber sold called and asked for help last night. I've been, yeah, Justin, yes, he's been in my energy field. Yep. The name Akasha came up during my hypnosis. Really? Really, Margarita? I I can't remember. If you remember, let me know. Something very strange is going on, guys. I don't even know we have time to sit here all day to crack this code, but one of Aaliyah, okay. Oh, Aaliyah was one of the anchors of the higher consciousness timeline. So that movie is a ritual to shift timeline to an inverted one. Okay, thank you. That makes a lot of sense because that is what I was saying that they were doing to her music. That through like people like her and like Bob Marley and Lauryn Hill, like that's the path we were supposed to be on. That timeline, like if Aaliyah was still living and if they would have let Lauryn Hill like still do her music the way she was, that was supposed to put us on a whole nother enlightened higher consciousness timeline. But we got diverted, right? And so it's interesting how after that movie, she passed away. Yeah, and I think, and you're right, it was a ritual because that's what they used her for. All of Aaliyah, that's all they've been doing because of her cosmic royal lineage. They have been literally using every bit of her for their plan and their ritual. But it's all coming back on them. Because when you make a deal with the devil, it comes back on you. This is what we are experiencing. This whole reading that I did today, and all these celebrities, when I was talking about Beyonce and Jermaine Dupri, they were only to get me to this point. They were all in on it as taking Aaliyah apart energetically to feast off of her royal lineage. So really quickly before we get out of here, we need to remove this collective. It feels like I said, it's a dragon. It has it's like it's interesting. So it has a face, but it has many like mouse, but they also have a face. It's a beast. I don't know what else to say. That's just what it is. And somehow I don't know, but it's attached to that movie. And what I feel is the venom from those different mouths is the venom is what I can literally taste it. It is unpleasant. That is what this is what is so much bigger than the music. We're talking about the code of our DNA holding us back from unionization with our original 12 strand DNA. This is what I'm saying, which is how when your 12 strand DNA come back together, this is how the spiritual Israel comes back. This is when you basically become whole again. You're back in divine order. You're back to the blueprint. We're back to the timeline where the real heaven, because like I said, it's always on the 12th dimension. That's the real, where the real heaven is. But your DNA has to be intact in order to truly get there and stay there, right? You got to get back to this. And pulling Aaliyah out of the game and some of these other artists and colluding the frequency was part of diverting us from the timeline that would lead to our divine healing and homecoming. So, this is what we've all uncovered through this session today. Absolutely, Margarita. You can schedule another session. Just email me. Let me know when you want to do that. We can take care of that. They are coming after our children. Oh my God. The Disney movies. Yes, guys, it's crazy. But they're all being exposed now. Like, and what I think, remember I said I may not want to open up this Marduk energy. I think when we open this up, all the other celebrities, all the other stuff was going to come out of the celebrity closet. That's what I honestly feel that this template is going to do for us. So, and Justin Bieber's been in my energy field. And yeah, guys, I think that's what this template is, because these are the people who are falsely holding our starlight. Seriously, all of these, so to speak, stars. They're not stars. It's our stolen energy. The music lyrics to K-pop movies are creepy. Yeah, I bet. All right, guys, let's do a little cleansing before we get out of here. But I feel that there will be more. There will be more cleansing within this template. And so, what this energy of this dragon, this beast that I'm seeing, it's disconnecting us from our I am energy. I see it here. We're coming back online, but it's keeping us fragmented where we can't like all the way sink back in and gel together. They're trying to lower us and anchor us down into the sacral. But looks like we're doing a good job. And I'm getting hot. So that means that that's when I know the energy. When you start to overheat, right? That is energetic disturbance. That's entity. That's an entity. I'll start removing. Oh, and by the way, Jermaine Dupri has chords. It's very interesting, the music chords, right? When you think about musical instruments and, notes and stuff, has chords. He has energetic chords from his behind his in the solar plexus and the back of the head as well. These are energetic cords. He's wrapped up in this karmically. And you'll never be free. He has to untether himself from this, and he can heal and he can forgive and seek forgiveness, right? And the more important thing is when we forgive ourselves, we release the energy. And that energy can go out and expand, because Source told me that, this a long time ago. There's a part of our soul that will never be whole, made right, unto the person that caused you the infliction. They must also feel what they did to you to that same magnitude, or sometimes even greater. So when people say revenge is not good, revenge is not good if you dish it out, but the energy being returned so that they can feel it is the only way the karmic retribution happens. The karmic justice happens. That's the only way to actually be whole, where both souls can now move forward and not allow this karmic thread to bind them back down to the 3D energy field to relive that same energetic infliction, right? Let's start removing these cords from Jermaine. Hambona kareli shande kanambandiriti. Himbora Karanina Nireta, Bamburutu Kananirandiram Bandirete Kanambate, Hindera Shamburutu Karanesha, Himburutu Kanadianireti Himnanireta, Halerandi Hanirandira Shamburutu, Humburutu Kananirandirandiram Bonburutu, Himburutu Kanadianira Shamburutu Kanande, Hamburutu Kinarete, Himburu Chandirandireti Kinane, Himbanireta Lirandireta, Himbone Shanareta Karerandi, Himborotu Dirashanerandirita, Hamborotu Direta, Halilamborotu Karanidesa, Hinareta, Limborotu Kanireta Maneti, Himborotu Karida Shanireta, Hamborotu, Lamborotu Kinandirandira Shandirandireta, Himborota Karandirandireta, Batakarandeti, Hindereta Karandireta Tatakarambu, Hindara Shandireta, Hamborotu, Handireta, Limborata, Handireta Tatakarandieta, Hishandirandi Kinambuana. Bamboto le randiata hinna handireta hindarandarambuta karambatena hinadele ambashandireta himbone karalireta dirandire shandireta himboroto karereta hinandireta himboroto dirandire shandireta hamboroto kinnarandirandirambandireta hamboroto kerandirandire shandireta hamboroto kinnarambandireta shatta hamboroto karelerandi lamboroto kinnareta halidireta hiriata hamboroto hilarata handirete hidareta lirandeta kiranda handireta hindaretene himboroto lerandireta shandireta takarandi hambora darandireta handireta lambona kerandirete lambona lambona dara shandirandirete binandireta karambandireta lambanerete hinanandireta himboroto kananirandiresha hamborata kananirandirannanisha Inarandireta karanirandireta bandireta nirandireta ambona. Himurutu kireta, himurutu karanda, humurutu karande, himurutu karande, humurutu karandireta, hinandireta shamburata, limboroto kinyandireti hinna, hinarantiran bareta hanerete, himboroto karandireta, lirambanire shandirambanirete, himboroto dirishandirisha, himboroto kerendirandire shandi. Himbona nireta karamba nireta bina. Himboloreta karanireta. Himmurota niret. Himmurat nirandira shandireta. So many voices have been cut off. So many people, you wonder why all these people that are, or in some regards, even more talented than some of these stars, they cut their voices out. I'm telling you, we have just been their energy source. And when one of their own actually comes through with this divine energy, those are the ones that pass away early. I'm hearing Janis Joplin. Yeah, her. That happened to her too. Jimi Hendrix. When the ones come around that will change the timeline to an advanced state of consciousness, they tear them down. If they can't redirect their path and utilize their energy in life, they will end their life and utilize their energy in death. And this is why you get all the doppelgangers of all the celebrities that just keep being reincarnated. It's because they are using the star energy from the ones that passed away, from the original avatar, is what they're doing. And all of this has come back on them. This god of Babylon, this Marduk god, is literally, he wants payment. He's calling the card. He's like, this is it. This is the cap. It's either the karmic retribution or you're going away. You're gonna lose too. Your energy's gonna get dissolved too. You're gonna be consumed by the beast. Right? It's like the judgment has been called. Their number has been called. Everything that they've done is catching up to them in this moment. And what we're truly tapping into is a defect within the DNA of humanity. This sort of dragon, and I'm going to say something. I know everyone loves dragons, but I'm here to say that this is a mutation. It's a great manipulation. And there were like very powerful dragons back in the day, but I'm here to tell you that these things were always a mutation. Always. It wasn't part of the original code. Even us today, as we currently are, this is not part of the original code as our DNA is structured now. This is why we do the DNA cleansing and healing and releasing to come back into our whole state, our full state, and to repair and renew the DNA. But this is what we're truly fighting, because it is the infliction that allows such evilness to even understand, right? To even have a place to exist. It's from this mutation. And so as we start to open up this template more and explore more of what's going on with this god of Babylon, it appears that what's right in front of the template when I open it up is all the karma, so to speak, that the celebrities have partook in, all of the things that they have helped to collude. We're seeing it now from an energetic standpoint. That's what we're looking at. And I'm sure as I go deeper into the template, more things will more things will come about. But the dragon, the manipulation of the DNA, um, is what is allowing such things. So this code has to be made whole as well. And so I'm going to leave this right here. I'm going ahead and disconnecting from any and all energies, blocking out the negative, only bringing back what is positive, clearing and disconnecting from all energy. And so it is. Yeah, okay, going back to K-pop. Okay. Yeah, we'll look into that. I'm sure we're going to be in this template. It's seems like a hefty template. Remember the Michael Jackson clearing you did? Yeah. Yeah, it needs that. Yep. Okay. I am warrior actually felt mute for a number of years. Wow. Can the beast do that? Yeah. That's what I'm saying, guys. Like, you're more powerful than what you think. Even we've been attacked and targeted. When you're chosen, when you're special, when you have the vibration that can literally free bloodlines, that can free yourself, that can free others, yeah, the matrix will do whatever it can to want to anchor your energy down. But that's over. There's this is the end of the age where all of the karma, all of the unhealedness, rather I like to say, gets all stacked up, and then it has to be released. You got to pay the piper, right? All debts, all karmic debts must be paid in full. And this is really at the end of the age. So when the energy cycles back to you, this is going to anchor us into the wealth transfer as well. So I think it's very important that I start to look into this template, because when the energy comes back in, this is going to be part of our wealth transfer, part of our star residue coming back to us, our original blueprint coming back to us, which is definitely in wealth transfer energy. My voice is powerful. Yes, I am warrior. Absolutely. Yep, got to hone in on your craft. Absolutely, guys. I love you guys so much. Until we meet again, this has been a very powerful session. I love you. I love you. I love you. And so it is as we walk together in divine love. Be welcome.